guys, and welcome to the long-awaited Draw My Life. I've been so scared of making this, but I think it's time you got to know me more. It all started in a town called Pontefract in England where I was born. That was me and my two older brothers, my mum and my dad. We lived in a nice sized house with lots of toys, and I have so many memories of playing with my brothers in the garden. Over the years, we've had lots of pets. I think I've owned a total of 7 rabbits so far. We had a fish pond, a goldfish, a cat, you name it. The cat we had was called Blue. The cat unfortunately scratched my poor rabbit's eye. The eye became infected and she had to have it taken out. Poor Isabel. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows though. My family went through some hard times, like the passing of my great-grandma, who we all loved dearly, and the fact that my parents eventually decided to separate. This was very hard on us. Me and my brother were too young to understand, and sometimes we blamed our parents, but their separation was for the best. Going to school and hanging out with my friends definitely helped me take my mind off of it. I loved where I lived, and I would play out on the streets with other kids who lived nearby. We'd ride our bikes and pretend we were in Hogwarts, pretend to camp out in the garden, and sometimes make mud pies. I would also watch my brother Daniel play on video games and sometimes even join in. And then my dad bought me a PlayStation 1 of my own. That's where my addiction to video games began. My favourite console was the Sega Dreamcast, and I'd sit and play Sonic Adventures all day. My mum fell in love again, and before I knew it, I had a new role model in my life called John. Also around this time, I rescued a dog from the streets. I was out playing with my cousin when I found her. She followed me around and wouldn't leave me, so I rang my mum from a payphone and convinced her that I had to bring this dog home. I'd even clean up its poop and take it for walks. Somehow my mum agreed, and we named her Shadow. She was the love of my life. Mum and John got married and we welcomed my little brother into our lives. They called him John, which now meant we had 2 Johns. What a creative name. I moved on to high school and I fit right in. I was super social and made lots of friends. Lots of kids from my old school moved up too, so I had all my best friends with me. I ended up opening a Bebo account and I met a guy called Chris who went to a school nearby. We went on some dates and he soon became my boyfriend. Chris was so nice to me and he treated me like a princess. He was also great at cooking. I did really well in lessons except math. I can't do math at all. My pet rabbit soon became ill and passed away and it broke me. I had my friends and family to support me, but Isabel was honestly my best friend at the time. It was hard, but life moves on. At break time, I would hang out with some older kids. My best friend at the time had an older sister and we would hang out with her and the kids in her year. From doing this, I met this cute older guy called Kyle. Unfortunately, after a while, me and Chris grew apart and we'd argue a lot, so we decided to call it quits. Breaking up was hard because he was my first real boyfriend and we stayed together for around 2 years. We even went on holiday to Turkey together. I knew things wouldn't be easy and my life would change without him being a part of it. Fast forward a couple of years, me and Kyle started hanging out a lot. I really liked him, he was kind to me and super cute. After a while of being close friends, I decided that I would ask him to be my boyfriend over MSN Messenger. Oh, how cringy. But he said yes, and from there, we became boyfriend and girlfriend. Kyle got me into gaming even more. He had an Xbox and we would sit and play Gears of War for hours with our friends. Around this time, I was about to start my exams when I had a feeling something wasn't right. I started to feel sick and I couldn't concentrate. I had a feeling that I was pregnant. This was a huge shock to everyone and it came at the worst time. How was I meant to do my exams? How was I meant to go to college? This discovery sent me into a very dark place and I felt like running away from it all, but Kyle was there for me. Eventually my mum found out and she was very disappointed, but she was also super supportive. We made the decision that I would keep the baby and I would try to live as normal as I could. We welcomed Dante into our lives. It was hard being such a young parent, but with my mum, Kyle, my friends and family there to support me, it made everything so much easier. I passed my exams with flying colours. I was so happy. This enabled me to start college. At this time in my life, I wanted to be a teacher, so I took English language, photography, RE and media. College was super fun and much different to high school. While I was studying, my mum would look after Dante and Kyle would work full time to support us. Also during college, I started hanging out with my cousin and his girlfriend Jenna. Me and Jenna both shared the love for gaming and decided to start a YouTube channel. We set a goal to reach 1,000 subscribers. We started posting clips of Gears of War and Halo to our channel with super bad backing music. Oh gosh, those videos were so embarrassing. I made lots of friends at college, but I also lost some of my old friends from high school. Some of them would even bully me and call me names for being a young mum. They would also load up my videos on the Macs at college and laugh at them in front of me. This is the first time that I've ever experienced bullying, and it was horrible. It made me embarrassed of doing YouTube, but I carried on anyway because I loved creating content. Eventually, Jenna went to university and it meant that she couldn't make videos anymore. So I took on Chicks Can Game as a solo project. I decided I needed more female friends who also did YouTube, and so I ended up meeting Lizzie through YouTube messages. She was a YouTuber called LD Shadow Lady and she had around 16,000 subscribers. She made super funny Minecraft videos and I really enjoyed watching them. Soon after meeting her, I decided to contact other YouTubers. I couldn't believe that all of these other people out there had the same interests as me. I started collabing and making content with all of the other people in the community and I made loads more friends. I was also taking driving lessons, and so I was juggling being a parent, having friends, making YouTube videos, taking exams, and learning how to drive. It was very stressful, but some of the best years of my life. The end of college soon came and I managed to pass all of my exams, and so I applied to university to become a primary school teacher. I got accepted! I was going to university! It was going to be so hard for me though. On some days I wouldn't get home until 7 PM, meaning I wouldn't get to see Dante or Kyle. I would also not have time to make videos. This was a hard decision. Just before I was meant to be starting university, my channel exploded. I was now past 100k and I was now making enough money that me and Kyle could move in together. And I had a hard decision. I didn't have to go to university anymore. My mum again was a big influence and told me opportunities like YouTube don't come around to people very often and that I am very lucky. University will always be there and it will always be an option for me. I decided for my family's sake that I should take on YouTube as a full-time job. The house was pretty lonely. Going from a big family home with a dog to just me, Kyle and Dante was strange. And so we decided to get a puppy. We called her Sansa after the Game of Thrones character. Fast forward a while and Shadow started getting very ill. At first we thought she had kennel cough and the vet sent us away with tablets, but it became apparent that it wasn't kennel cough. We discovered that she had cancer. This was the worst thing I've ever been through. Within 3 weeks she became a shell of who she was. She was thin, refusing to eat and getting weaker by the minute. It was heartbreaking for us all, but we decided in the end that she had to be put down. I have never loved an animal as much as I love Shadow. After she passed, I ended up getting into a deep depression. Life wasn't the same without my best friend, and I couldn't find the strength to look after myself or even get out of bed. I've never felt so much pain in my life, but my friends, my family and my viewers slowly made me feel a bit better and I was able to continue as normal. We decided that Sansa needed a friend and so we adopted Molly. And soon after Molly, I got a pet hedgehog called Sonic. Kyle was able to leave his job and started working for me. After lots of time and effort, I am where I am today. I had always dreamt of being able to afford to marry Kyle, and now the time had finally come. In April 2017, me, a bunch of friends and family flew out to Disney World in Florida and I had the best time of my life. We were finally able to become a real family. It was so magical having a Disney wedding and I felt like a princess. Then a month later, in May 2017, I hit 1 million subscribers. My life has changed all because of YouTube. Without this hobby, I don't know where me or my family would be right now. YouTube has helped me through so many hard times and the friendships I've made on this platform have made me who I am today. I'm now looking at buying my first house and eventually planning on opening up a local animal rescue in memory of Shadow. Hey, maybe in the future I'll even write a book about my crazy life. YouTube has meant that I'm able to spend time with my family while doing a job that I love so much. If there's one thing I want you to learn from my story, it's that no matter how low you feel in your life, things will always work out for the best. If I had given up when I felt my worst, I would have never been able to achieve my goals. I have put 6 years of hard work into this channel, and I only have you guys to thank for sticking around with me on this crazy journey. Thank you guys so much. You have no idea how grateful I am.